Alright, for those that have been hanging around here a while now, you would know that I have a fascination with cheating. And it isn't like most people, I don't actually want to cheat, but I find the ways that people do it to be interesting and how people break games to be fascinating. But generally, 99% of the time in ESO, when someone claims someone else is cheating, it's literally them lacking the knowledge to know what actual cheating is. We've all seen it in zone chat. Here's a comment that I'm sure you've seen at some point.
That guy's a hacker, Cheeto macro user. No one can beat me without cheese.
And yeah, that most of the time those people are brain dead. That there's nothing going on in their head, and they blame everyone else for their mistakes. So, there's not much there. But every now and then there's a bit of substance. There's a bit of truth. And when I logged on to EP the other day, everyone was crying about a scroll incident. Someone had got into a keep and taken a scroll without it being burst. Now, I've covered this in the past, and that were more game bugs that were letting people exploit it. This, with a little bit of digging, is not a bug. Alright, so first off, this clip was sent to me. You're seeing it in the background. It's the guy inside EP home base with the scroll, and I kind of watched this. There's a little bit of funniness when he phases through the door there, but none of this gave me real clear indication in this video whether he was using a bug or a third-party program or anything. It was definitely suspect, that's for sure. But with a little bit of research, we found this clip. It's the same player, and here you can see him. You may have missed it, but if we slow it down, you will see that he goes under the floor. He phases through the floor. Now, with a little bit more digging around, we found this other clip of the scroll getting taken in this way. As you can see, he phases up through the floor, grabs the scroll, phases back through the floor. And anyone that has watched one of my cheating videos in the past would probably know that this is still one thing that is possible with Cheat Engine. Alright, now that we've pretty much worked out that it is a third-party program, what's going on here? How is this possible? Because whenever I talk about Cheat Engine, there's always a handful of people that are like, it doesn't work anymore. What are you on about, bro? Like, why are you saying it still works? It doesn't work like it used to, that's for sure. And it is a lot harder because ZOS has implemented some things. They don't have a real anti-cheat, but they do have debugging tripwires. They do executable checks. There is a few things they are doing behind the scenes to make this stuff harder for the average player just to pick up, say, Cheat Engine and go on their merry way cheating. It's not that simple anymore. But as you can see in the footage from earlier, it is still happening. And unfortunately, I honestly don't know what ZOS could do here besides bring in a proper anti-cheat. But what kind of issues will that cause? And it's kind of funny to think about all ESO's server performance issues and stuff like that. If cheating was never a thing in ESO, a lot of things would still be client-side, and we wouldn't have the server lag that we have nowadays. Once again, this is why we can't have nice things. But realistically, it's ZOS's problem to deal with this stuff. But for me, I reckon the really scary part isn't these guys that are stealing scrolls and being obvious about it. It's the guys that are being smart. They're just cranking their speed up to 180% without wearing any Swift. And, you're never going to know. You're not. You can't know unless you want to spend hours and hours and hours fighting these people, going through CMX reports and, putting all the pieces together. You're never going to know that that person has got some free speed. And this, for me, is the bigger issue. It's not the guys that have been blatant about it, it's the guys that have been smart. And You might be asking what else is possible with Cheat Engine. There is some other stuff you can do. So some skill swapping. So you can swap, say, crystal frags to be procced crystal frags. Now, Zos does do a check to make sure that you do have your class skills, but this is going to be interesting to see what they do next patch, because say they just get rid of that check because now you can have any subclass. Then with Cheat Engine and other third-party programs, you're going to be able to swap in other class skills that you're not meant to have. And I would like to think that Zos will just rework the class check to make sure that you've only got the skills from the skill lines that you have selected. That would be the logical way of doing it. I hope they do it that way, but hey, it's Zos. Who knows what they'll do? Every time I make one of these videos, I sit here and try and work out, like, what can we do? What can we do moving forward to improve this kind of stuff, lower the amount of people cheating? Like, what can we do? And unfortunately, we can't do a whole lot besides film this stuff when it happens, because there's no point saying someone cheated with that video. Like, people aren't going to believe you. Zos might not take you for your word, and there could be a lot of issues. Now, if you're suspect about someone cheating, I don't know, you could maybe report them and say, look, this guy is dodgy. I don't know. Can you have a look into their account? I don't know what Zos does on that side of things. I don't know how much information Zos can see when they look into an account. I presume fundamentally they could see everything, so they should be able to check and see if everything's lining up. But without Zos implementing a proper anti-cheat like what Valve and a lot of other online games have, we're going to have issues like this. And the sad part is we aren't going to know if someone's cheating most of the time. Now, I just need to mention this because it gets brought up a lot, and everyone loves to meme on E-Man for using macros and shit. Okay, here. If you're one of those people that accuses someone of using macros, go use macros and come back to me and tell me if it actually helped you. Because 99% of the time, macros aren't going to do shit for you. Scripts, on the other hand, that's a different story, but we'll leave that for another day. I don't know, guys. Let me know in the comments section. Have you seen any dodgy stuff going on lately, or has it been all normal? Was you online for this scroll theft? Let me know in the comments section. As always, guys, I love you. Catch you next time.